test? I already did it. Cool.
No, I already did it. Yeah, we're going here, boys. All right. Colton, welcome to the podcast, man. Appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So I know a little bit about you. Dudes was hyping you up, so apparently you better come with it with these stories because he says you're quite the guy. Have you ever done a podcast or any media?
No, it's the first time.
Well, you played in the WHL, so you must have done some media with the Rockets
interviews
there.
and stuff, obviously, but nothing like podcasts. I know I watched a couple of your guys' podcasts, so I can get the format down a bit. It's
really not that hard. You just kind of talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about.
Just like the car ride here.
Cool.
Where were you guys before this?
Well, I was at school.
Where were you?
This is at home. Had hockey practice, went home, and then he came and grabbed me. So
where are you living at?
I live like around the Commons, you know where like Tony's own areas?
You have to bring the mic closer.
Yeah, a little bit closer, sorry.
You know where Tony's own areas?
Yeah.
Like right across the street from there.
Okay.
Like kind of on the Commons, so.
Do you go to Tony's a lot?
Never.
See, that's the problem with me because we got Pizza Delic down. You know what Pizza Delic is? It's right down the street.
Did you say never?
Never, no.
You don't eat pizza?
No, I'm not a big, I like pizza. I love pizza.
Yeah, who doesn't?
You got like a sweet tooth or something?
Yeah.
Some guys like the sweet, some guys like the grease.
So where do you go when you eat then around here?
Like Bromoso?
What's that?
Bromoso, it's like on Quinpool. It's like gourmet pizza or whatever. It's pretty good.
Fancy stuff.
Is it like
I try to go to a new place every time. You know, you don't want to get in the same groove, the same place.
Especially when you're a visitor.
That could be a problem in Halifax because there's only so many places. When you say gourmet pizza, I can only think of 3 right now: Mother's, Salvatore's, and what's the one down on Barrington there? It's underneath the apartment with the red balcony. Anyways, they have great pizza too.
Okay. Is it Snappy Tomato?
No,
they sell beer. They have a liquor license.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been there. Have you been there?
Is it Piatto something?
Piatto. I think it's just Piatto. Yeah. They got good stuff there too.
Okay.
There's a couple good pizza places.
I just downloaded the One Bite app.
Oh, with Barstool.
I'm trying to like check out the best spots, but
how does that work? So you do what he does, except you just do it with your phone?
Pretty much, and you just gotta say like, "Okay, get one bite, do your bite, and then have your rating." But no one uses it yet. There's been like 2 people that have used it, and they've like, I think it's been Pizza Girls was like a 9.
Oh, so you do it around the area, so you get to
like wherever you go.
That's smart.
Cool.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah,
they're ahead of the curve there.
It's like dating for food. The dating apps for food.
Literally dating for pizza.
Yeah.
Did you see the new iPhone app that came out? I don't even know if it's an app or if it's just part of the phone. If you don't want to send a message, you can record yourself talking, and it turns you into a cartoon. So let's say I want to text you, but I don't want to text you, so I'll send a message to you. I can just record my face saying, "Hey dudes, listen to the podcast today, 3:30, make sure you're here," yada yada yada, and it takes my face, turns it into a cartoon, and then it'll send it to you with my mouth moving and everything.
That's pretty fucked up. Good news is your face won't be too far off.
Well, I look like a cartoon?
I was thinking that.
That's a compliment. Cartoons look great.
I guess so. Depends who draws them.
As soon as I saw that, I was just like, we're fucked as a generation. That's going to be everything.
Well,
soon people are going to be walking around with those masks on.
What, the virtual reality?
Yeah, VR.
That shit's dope though. You ever do that?
I've done that before. Crazy.
Is it? I've never done it.
There's like a place on Spring Garden. Yeah. So they'll do like, you do a demo. So you go and they put you in the thing, and there's like a plank. So they take you up on like a VR elevator. So you got your VR goggles. You go on the elevator up to the top. And so the whole time, like, I'm like, okay, this is not real. I'm wearing a VR headset. Like, I'm not doing this for real. And you get to the top and the doors open and it's just like air. You're on the top of a skyscraper.
How scared were you?
I was like, I wasn't scared, but I was, like, I was like, okay, this isn't real. Like, I'm going on. There's
but
a little
what
plank.
If it is?
There's like a 4-foot plank and you walk out on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this isn't a real plank. And my girlfriend's with me and she's like, what are you doing? Just start walking. I'm like, I can't. Like I'm going to fall. Like, it's going to feel real to me. So you go out there and then you jump off and like, it feels like you're falling forever. It's crazy.
Do you have headphones on?
Yeah. Well, they have
built in.
It's like, yeah, it's built in. Yeah. So it's built in.
It's like you're in a whole world just right here. Like, it's fucking insane.
That's what they're saying, that life is going to be in 15 years. Like, you won't have to leave your house to go to your 9-to-5 job. That like your office will be in the VR.
I don't know if that's such a negative part of it though.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
People
I don't
are probably
know.
pumped.
I'm gonna be one of those old guys like back in my day. We had to go to our job.
I'm already like that.
Oh, me too.
I'm like that too. I'm an old school guy. I don't like the new, like, I don't know. I just don't like
that.
He's
got missing teeth and didn't replace them. That's old school shit. That's badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you have to own it, right?
Yeah. Probably got them battling, right?
You ever lost any teeth playing hockey?
This is gonna sound fucked, but no. I got and I never wore a mouth guard, but I got through my whole hockey career without losing my teeth.
Yo, You want to hear a funny story? Last game of my junior career, lost my teeth. I was same as you. Last game.
No way.
Wigington hit me up in the high stick.
Your own teammate.
Own teammate. Bam. Done. It was our game 4 or 5. We got eliminated from playoffs. Over. And I remember it happened. And after the game, like our medical guy was like, all right, so here's the paper you got to fill out. Go to the dentist. Like it'll be covered through Sports Nova Scotia or whatever. And I waited like a month because, you know, I've never lost a tooth ever. So I was wearing it as a badge. So I walked
the next
around.
20 pictures you're in are going to look badass.
Exactly.
So how'd you lose yours?
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I got surgery on this because
did
it had nothing to do with hockey. So I just tell, if I meet someone and like I don't want to go through the whole story, I'll just be like, yeah, I took a puck in the face, whatever.
See, because that was one of the things I related to when you first came to the draw. I was like, okay, you had the flow, you had the little bit of the beard, and you had the missing tooth, and I'm like, okay. Like, and you
It's a
just
hockey
like,
guy.
This guy's gonna fit right in.
yeah, I was like, hockey guy. I was like, Billy, look, we got another buddy on the team because it's pretty much just Dan plays, but like
A hockey guy and a baseball guy could pass as the same look. Am I wrong?
I guess.
It's flow.
Depends.
You guys
I
like
just find
flow.
baseball, a lot of guys like to be like, have nice haircuts and like well put together, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
didn't think that.
nice cut beards.
The
and-
Yankee look, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas hockey's just like, grow your flow, grow your beard, bro.
What were you tweeting about the other day about the Maple Leafs?
The checklist?
Yeah, what was that?
Okay, because the Leafs wear black fucking ear loops and chin straps on their royal blue jerseys, and all the rest of their gear is royal blue. There's not a piece of fucking black on the entire uniform. Every other team in the league has picked up on the white chin strap stuff. It just would look better, more sharp, more clean, and it's fucking garbage.
But there was other ones too in the checklist.
Yeah, well,
It was
we
like-
saw
But I was confused with why you made this checklist.
because I was watching the game and I just probably just sitting there baked and
I've actually never noticed that before.
yeah.
So they weren't allowed to grow beards?
Yeah, that's what it was. They weren't allowed to grow beards, which is fine because like I understand like tradition and stuff like that, and you don't fuck with it. I think that's how it was for a long time.
That was only with Lou Lamorelli.
Yeah, and they weren't allowed to wear like necessarily high numbers. Like they have that Ozaganov guy or whatever. He's wearing 92 on D, right? So like he just like was like, you just wear your number, do your thing. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Instead of like, because that's how I think the game has evolved off the ice kind of thing. Because the kids are only getting, I say, softer, right? So you got to let them do the
definitely.
thing and be creative.
Definitely.
So
You see Domi knocked out Ekblad last night?
Did
I don't
you
know what
see
that
that?
was.
did you see his dad?
I don't know why he did it though. I don't know. I didn't see like the play before it, but I just saw the hit when they kind of hit each other.
Yeah, but that
And
was
maybe-
the play.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
what
was
it
it,
was.
eh?
He just
Yeah.
like
He just
gave him
turned,
that
clocked him.
classic. I don't know, man.
I think it was
whatever.
nerves in front of the Bell Center for the first time. Just kind of wants to make his name present
But
in
it's
the
not
Bell
like he
Center.
doesn't know Ekblad. I'm sure they know each other off the ice and shit. Like if it's a guy he doesn't know and he just like suckers him, I get it. But if it's a guy you've played with or like
Yeah.
grew up playing with, why are you gonna do that?
He
There's-
was leaking after too, eh?
Oh,
Big
his
time.
jersey
Yeah.
was all red.
Yeah.
There's guys that can turn that friendship mode off on the ice, man. I know you're one of them. And I think,
Yeah.
well, obviously, if Domi, because Ekblad's from Ontario, isn't it? They're both Ontario
so.
boys. And there's some guys that can just turn that switch off and just say, fuck you, even if you're your best friend.
But first game of the preseason, you can't even have that. Can't even be a scenario, man.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a bunch of fights after it.
Yeah, guys that are trying to prove themselves.
Yeah,
But anyways,
It's true.
Exhibitions always seems to be like that in the show. Like you got guys that are coming up and they want to. That's the easiest way to get noticed. Is
yeah,
Yeah.
sucker
I guess he's
guy
not a
or
guy that needs to be
low
noticed.
guy. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's crazy.
he's trying to make a name for himself in Montreal. I mean,
Did you see the Florida exhibition game?
no.
400 people? 400 or 500 people.
That's it.
At the game against, I think it was Montreal in Florida.
People are still beaching it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever. Let's talk about you, man. So yeah, once again, thanks for coming to the show. You grew up in Alberta, you said?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
Swift Current.
Yeah.
So give me a little bit about yourself. What was it like growing up there?
Oh man, there's not much to do.
Oh, okay.
Either way, it's either winter, it's just hockey.
Yeah.
Summer, it's baseball. It's middle of nowhere in Saskatchewan. There's like 15,000 people there on a good day.
Wow.
So, yeah, spent a lot of time at the farm.
You're a farmer?
I'm not like I have friends that are like farmers.
Like toss hay.
They toss hay, like they live at the farm. That's all they know. Right now they're just like, they've been on a tractor for 2 weeks straight, loving life, love it. I'm not like in love with farming. I like doing it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Keeps you in shape.
You just chill and like it's a really easy life if you're like a farmer, like on a combine or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
we have a family farm. We just kind of have one. We don't like do it for a living.
Are there
But-
animals on the farm?
Yeah, we have like cows and I think we're trying to get some chickens and stuff like that.
Free range eggs, buddy.
Yeah, free range. Trying to get in the organic sector.
Seriously.
That's
No,
sick.
not actually, but like probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Have you ever milked a cow?
I actually haven't. No, my
That's a good question.
yeah, that was a good question.
Tap yourself on the back.
My grandparents had a milk farm, but they sold it, and we got bought a bunch of land.
Okay.
We used to have a dairy farm.
You must have had no problem like shooting pucks out there, because here in the city, you know, you'll hit a garage, you'll break a window, but out there you must have no problems.
Oh man, you can do whatever you want out there.
Yeah, no
You just shoot
problem.
pucks
That
for
sounds like
hours
my
and-
kind of spot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, dude,
So-
you love it out there.
I definitely would. So that just made me think of like, remember, I don't know if it's still a thing, but the era of the massive like West kids, you know what I mean? Like when Fanouf was playing and it's because they say, oh, Pierre used to say, oh, they got a family farm, and like
Yeah.
everyone's kind of like, that's bullshit, but he just made it a reality for me.
A farmer's strength is a thing, isn't it? Like,
It's a different strength.
Some of the scariest people I've ever met, like tough wise, are like farmers that just farm. Like they
Yeah.
just have huge, like strong hands, and they were probably like 160 pounds, but like they're scary because their hands are huge.
Calloused.
They
But here's the thing: when you work out, you're specifically working out muscles, whereas when you're a farmer, it's like old man strength. You've built all that strength because when you're a farmer, you're using every fucking muscle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're building everything over time instead of like just your biceps and your forearms and like your quads and your calves, you know? So that's why they're so scary.
where's Marty Mcsorley from?
I have no idea.
Well, he was the protector of Gretzky, right?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure he was on the YouTube telling a story about growing up on the farm, and that's where he got his strength. And like off-season training, he just helped his dad at the farm. And
There's a
essentially
bunch of those stories, man. A bunch of them
yeah.
from back then, those days.
Yeah, back then, I mean, they didn't really train. They just kind of
Yeah.
Worked. Like I can't remember which NHLer it was, but he his family had a farm, and that's what he did was he kept it alive in the off season, and that's how he trained the whole year
Yeah.
and made money.
Have you guys seen Brent Burns' new documentary out that the Sharks just released?
Wow.
He bought a ranch down in Texas, and while he's not there, he hires a guy to run his ranch. And when I say ranch, I mean zebras. I mean the things with the horns on them. I mean goats.
Rhinoceroses?
Rhinoceroses. I like
That guy's
whatever. I mean, like he bought animals from Africa and brought them over to Texas. And this guy, whenever Burns is in San Jose, he obviously plays hockey, but this guy lives on the ranch and feeds the animals year round. So anyways, this past
Dude, you
summer,
should apply for that.
That'd be sick.
this past summer, San Jose went in there with the camera crew and essentially just followed him around. Brent Burns is the ultimate
Grizzly.
yeah. Anyways, watch it. Just when you go home, type in Brent Burns.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch
There's
it.
3 part 1, 2, 3, all insane. They're like, he's like his wife's in the pool. He's like, all right, honey, what do you want for dinner? And he's like, I don't know, like whatever you killed this morning. He's like, all right, we got some elk. So like they go in his garage and they shave some elk down. Anyway,
That sounds like the life.
watch
man.
it.
He's just a dude.
No, just a
Literally.
dude.
Dude.
And he's like, he's got a bow and arrow, and he's teaching his kid how to like kill pigs, and they got pigs running. Oh man,
That's
it's pretty
crazy, man.
cool.
So
And then
I'm
you
gonna-
look at his contract, and the guy's
I'm gonna bring it
making-
way back on you, right away.
Here we go.
Well, when you're living in Saskatchewan, did you had a farm? Is that where you learned? Basically, was like, did you guys have a pond or like a lake? Did your old man make a rink, or was it like the local rink was the place to be? Because I know that's the case in a lot of small towns.
So yeah, so I lived in Swift, and then we had a bunch of outdoor rinks there, and it's obviously
Flat.
so cold there all the time. So like we'd go, I mean, when I was a kid, I honestly skipped school a lot when I was in like elementary school, and then me and my buddies would go at 9 a.m, and we'd stay there till 9 at night. Like no one would bother us. They'd have lights come on,
It's unreal.
and we just do that all day, every day.
So your
forever.
parents weren't upset that you weren't going to school?
Wow, they didn't know that. So
True.
not every day, just like
Till
the
right
odd day,
now.
you know, just the odd day. But and then weekends, obviously, we just play there all day, all night.
Sorry, did you say ponds or it was a man-made rink?
A man-made rink, yeah. Like
Okay.
Saskatchewan's flat as fuck, right?
Yeah, so we go like to the lake, and if we really want to, we could go play on the river or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not as ideal as just playing on the outdoor rink.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of outdoor rinks because, like I said, it's so cold and
Yeah.
it's easy to maintain them.
Yeah.
So
That's such a good idea, man, because there's no doubt in my mind that completely helped you later on in your career. You know what I mean? Just like the small little things, like something small off the top of my head, playing pond hockey is you get that nick in the shin or something, you know how much that hurts, but you just play through it because what are you going to do? You're out in the pond or out in the, you know what I mean? Or like losing all the time to the older guys, or you know what I mean, just shit like that, falling down and being too cold, and you know what I mean, just battling all the time. So
can't even tie your skates, hands are too cold.
Yeah,
feet are
that's
frozen.
why I asked,
Too cold's
because
a big one.
Oh yeah.
that's where it truly does like shape you as a hockey player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And as a person a little bit too. It's toughness. If you're a kid, I remember not growing up in Fairview, but going to Fairview and playing hockey somewhere up there, and just those older kids just kicking the shit out of us. Put some character in me.
They didn't care.
No.
We drove through, Hef and I drove through the hood.
Is that your first time in Fairview?
Probably not.
Maybe not. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Like I've been like where we were by, where I said like the Pickard brothers.
Yeah, so there.
Be near there, but not like through where we went.
Is Fairview the hood now? I don't think.
There's parts of everywhere that's the hood, man. I just like to joke about it.
Yeah, okay.
So I had another question after that, but of course we got sidetracked once again.
It's okay.
Swift Current Raiders. What's SSMHL?
That's the midget league, the major midget league. So it'd be
Saskatchewan South maybe or something.
okay. So the Raiders that'd be Bantam.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be Bantam AA, which is we didn't at that time we didn't have AAA in Saskatchewan. It's just AA was our highest league in Bantam.
Double A, really?
That's so crazy, man.
I don't know why they called it. I don't know why they didn't call it AAA. They just called it AA, but it's technically AAA for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, so it's top caliber.
Yeah,
Scouts know that going in.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like so we play Notre Dame. We play Notre Dame, and like Regina would have like their all-star team and stuff. It's just because some of the towns we weren't big enough to be considered a AAA town.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it goes by population, I'm pretty sure, right?
so-
Okay.
That's why like East Hants and stuff never had a AAA team for the first little bit.
But if you go by
didn't know that.
population, it'd be like you'd have two AAA teams. It'd be like Regina and Saskatoon.
Okay.
So they have to call it AA. So
And then
the
so
Weyburns and
the
play, right?
Legionnaires is midget then.
Yeah. So you guys would have major midget right here. So we just have midget AAA.
Did you ever if you ever went on tournaments and kids asked you, they'd be like, so what league do you play? Did you ever lie and just say, oh, AAA? Because then if you say AA, then you got to tell them the whole story.
I don't know, because it's weird, because everyone in Saskatchewan, like everyone out west knows that like the Bantam AA league is the top league in Saskatchewan. It's just kind of Alberta, I think, is different. I don't know how Alberta works, but I don't know. Everyone out west kind of knew that, and I never played against anyone east of Manitoba until I was like 15, 16. So
Wait a second. East of Manitoba.
Dude,
wow.
Yeah. So we're kind of secluded in our own little.
How old were
world.
you? Sorry.
Probably like 15, 16 was the first time I played against like a kid from Ontario.
Wow.
I had no idea what Ontario was.
That's
Like
midget
that was
age.
just like midget.
I guess that's the same with us then. We never went past Quebec. You went down to Boston for a couple things, but as a team, we never went past Quebec.
Not really, no.
Okay, so I was making nothing out of that. Okay.
So I didn't understand how Ontario worked. I didn't know what major midget was. Like BC has it, but
neither did he.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
I find every province does it different, man. Like the more I've listened to our guests, they each have like, it's just so weird. Like some of them are like, oh, this is tier 1, or like this is Tykes, not Timbits, and like, you know what I mean? It's just Bantam, not major Bantam, and like just different calibers.
Just like name different things. But
so you played where they had the Bantam draft.
Yeah.
I've always been really intrigued by the Bantam draft because I always thought that I would have got drafted out of Bantam. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. But when you get drafted out of the Bantam draft, and I think it says here you went second round, maybe. Do you remember? Second round.
Yeah, I think
2009 by the Kelowna Rockets.
How many rounds are there? Whoa. So you get drafted to junior from Bantam and you skip midget?
That was going to be my next question, was how they tie the Bantam and the junior part together. It must be a midget farm team.
Yeah, so your second year Bantam is your draft year for junior. So they'll do like your Bantam year. They'll do like zone tryouts, so you'll make your zone, and they'll do like a big tournament in Saskatchewan. I don't know how Alberta and them do it, but like it'll be like by zone. So my zone would be like zone, I think we were like zone 10, so it'd be like Swift Current surrounding rural area, which is all the farm kids. And then so then we play like the Regina would have their zone, Saskatoon, like Yorkton, Melville would be up north.
Okay.
Down south would be like Weyburn, Estevan would be like the kind of the riggers and like that kind of area.
Yeah.
So then we'd all play this big showcase tournament.
Yeah.
And then from there you do top 40. So they pick the top 40 kids of the age, and you'd go to this camp and do that or whatever. So then you'd have your draft, and then you're just basically property of that team. So then they'd have like a rookie camp for the 15-year-old kids or whatever.
Jesus.
And then you were just property of that team. So then you could kind of do what you wanted to do in midget. I mean, your junior team would kind of tell you like, hey, we probably want you to play here. Like we like the coach there. Like
so they have
program.
input.
They have a little bit of input. Like obviously, if you want to make their team, you want to do what they want.
Is there a lot of like parental politics more out west? I feel like because there's not a lot of parents. A lot of parents might know each other. Not a lot of kids. Maybe it's more fight and grab to make the team. Because there was some of that here. There was some here in this province. But was there any of that out there out west?
I mean, I would say it's probably like it anywhere.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
I mean,
I feel like it doesn't go away. It's the money and the power type thing, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it ever really stops.
So in your personal opinion, do you think that the Bantam draft, because here we don't get drafted till midget.
Yeah, right.
Do you think it's more beneficial to get drafted into Bantam to have something to kind of shoot for, and you know that that's on the table now? Or do you think in midget it's like, because we just kind of hope in midget, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the Bantam draft out west is there is a ton of busts. So like there'll be guys that were absolutely crazy good in Bantam, and they will be average, if average,
peak too early
junior players. They just peak too early. They're too big too soon, right? Because you could have a kid like that's 6'4" in Bantam and just can dominate a kid, but then as soon as he plays against other guys who are 6'4", he's not the same player. So that's one thing that a lot of
definitely
kids,
a downside.
A lot of kids that don't get drafted end up being really good, and they end up making junior teams. And some kids, they get drafted like 3rd round, 2nd round, whatever. They don't even make the team. They're not even a thought.
See, that's crazy. That's one aspect I never thought about, right?
No, never.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's weird. It's different. I remember being Bantam, like they're doing the draft, and it's kind of a big deal in like Saskatchewan. So when you're in Bantam, I think you're grade 9 or whatever.
Do you go to the draft, or do you just sit home and
it's
they
just
call
like
you?
online. So like I was sitting in, I don't know, it was like French class or math class.
It was like on a weekday.
And my teacher was just like, hey, you got drafted. And I was like,
how did your teacher know before you?
Oh, I can't. This is before phones, man. Like,
dude, think about it. So Swift Curry said there was 15,000 people there. He's like, yo, Heff, you just got drafted, bro. I was like,
one of my buddies comes in, he's like, congrats, man. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm trying to do my test right now. But, yeah,
he just got me in trouble.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
That's why I was always so intrigued by the Bantam draft, man, because I always try and picture. It's not that I regret anything that I did in hockey, but I always just try and picture different scenarios. Like, what if we all had the Bantam draft here? How would that have gone? Would I have been a bust? Like he said, would I have actually done something? Because the right type of person, which obviously you were, was okay. Now I realize that this may be an option for me.
Yeah.
Here's what they're telling me to do. They obviously know that. You trust the process, as they say. And you push towards that instead of being like, I'm the fucking man. I just got drafted. Now I don't have to work for it.
Yeah, that's
you know what
true.
I mean?
That's a good point.
So and I think
especially at a young age.
It go either way. Like some kids will be like, oh, okay, I'm drafted. I don't have to do anything anymore. I made it. And then some kids will be like, okay, now like I have something to work towards. So I think it kind of goes both ways, right?
And that's just not hockey. That's everything. You know, there's when people get promoted, it's I got promoted. I don't have to work hard anymore. It's just when that's just all common nature, human nature.
Yeah.
When you got drafted, you went home. Like, was there a celebration? Did you get a cake? Did you go to McDonald's or anything? Anything?
No, I just
handshake.
Working out again.
Dad's like, you left the fucking gate open for the cows. You're grounded.
My dad just said congrats and
shook your hand.
Shook my hand, and that was it. I mean, you don't want to overplay and be like, this is some huge thing, because it's
at that basically age too.
At the end of the day, you're just the rights of that team. Like, you still have to try out, you still have to make the team.
Yeah,
it's not like
you made the team.
So how did you get into hockey then? You said you're old man, and you got to bear with me because my brain goes different ways all the time. You said you're old man. Congratulations. I just picture him as like this hard ass guy, calloused hands, and being like, yeah, like your work's not over yet, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Was he a hockey player?
Yeah, he played like growing up and stuff. So I started skating. I lived in Herbert, Saskatchewan up until I was in grade 2 or whatever, which is like 200 people. So that's where I learned to skate, because they had their rink and it was open all the time. And my dad was friends with, how does that work? My dad's friend's dad was like the caretaker of the rink.
Okay.
So like the grandpa or whatever.
He's like the rink taker. We all have one.
Yeah, the guy. Rinky. So he knew me, and I would just kind of bust in there whenever I was like 3 or 4, and like he would like let me go on the ice and just make sure I didn't like kill myself.
Yeah.
And I just buzz around and learn how to skate.
The child dream.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's 200 people, so I could just walk from my house. It was like 5 blocks away. It was a 5 block.
Was there tons of people trying to get on the ice, or was it just mostly you, for what you remember?
Sleepy town. I mean, no one's doing anything.
So then you guys moved.
to the city.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
that for hockey, or was it just kind of like a family move?
Just wanted to move to the city.
Makes sense. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Different.
Fuck. Yeah, I can't imagine. It makes me think now. I understand why you try and go to a different place every time you're here, because like for what we see our city as like a small city, to you is fucking huge.
This is the big city for me.
Do you know what I mean? So that's just like, it's a different perspective on things. And we kind of talked about that on the way here. Was you were in sports psychology, I think, class this week or something like that. You just kind of you learn different perspectives, and like our example was, like, what I don't find irritating doesn't mean that you don't find it irritating, and I shouldn't assume that it's the same as me. You know what I mean? But you don't really, I guess I didn't realize till I was older, but it comes with probably a little bit of maturity, I guess, and probably not age, but it's just crazy to think about. So it's like, he's here and he's like, I'm going here, whereas when you were a kid, it was like, I'm going here, here again.
When I'm a kid, I got my house down the street's my grandparents' house. I'm like
Simple.
3 and my dad's like, okay, go to your grandparents' house. And he just lets me walk outside. Like, because what's going to happen? It's her, but there's 200 people. There's not even a cop there. Like,
there's no cops.
I think there's one cop that lives in town. There's not a cop station or anything. He just works out of his house.
No.
Like, so there's no, like, you can do whatever you want.
If someone like abducted you, it's like, all right, I got a good idea of who it would be.
Just grab
The definition-
grab the townspeople together. And they
Definition of neighborhood watch. Literally.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So when I went to Kelowna, that was like culture shock for me, because that was the city. Like,
Yeah, that's
I never.
That is
there.
the city Kelowna?
Well, it's like it'd be about Halifax, 200,000, kind of rough area. Wait, so how big is Halifax?
Like
Like it's around
half
there.
a mil?
Oh.
The whole province is 1 million, I think. And
Oh, wow, I didn't realize it was even that big.
Kelowna, though. Didn't we play Kelowna in the Pee Wee
yeah,
tournament?
the Rockets.
Did you tell him that?
No.
We played
way.
Kelowna in the Quebec Pee Wee tournament.
I had
Oh,
2
no way.
Genos.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I was on their
the
team.
game.
That was good.
Fuck, man, honest to God, back
You
then I
remember?
don't even remember. It was that's the Pee Wee
dad would
National
know.
tournament. You know, my dad.
Okay,
I have the program
Yeah,
and stuff.
I remember the tournament. Yeah.
And I have the program
played
at
in
home,
it?
which is
No, I
cool.
wanted to, but
it was just like, there's so much going on. You're 12. You're away from home. Like, I got my first debit card then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot
Yeah,
going
man.
on.
I had like probably $90 in the fucking bank account that I saved up for like 12 Christmases. But it's like, you're away from home for the first time. You're on a bus. We were the Mooseheads.
Playing
which
in
was
a mall.
fucking dope. You're playing in a mall. Like, you just want to go. There's rides. You're like hockey rides. Like,
you're playing. You're like, whoa.
yeah, like, why can't we be doing that? You know? So it's just kind of like, I didn't really remember any of the guys. So
Yeah.
Okay.
but I do like looking through like the programs and stuff, because
Yeah.
there's some guys that are in the show and stuff like that now.
That's crazy.
Was Tavares in that tournament?
He's a 91. No, yeah, he is. Anyways.
I'd like to look at that. Bring that over.
I'll bring it
next
over
time.
one day. Yeah.
What were you saying?
Just sorry. Culture, like,
Culture shock moving to the big
totally
city.
different. I couldn't believe it. Like, not even how people acted, and I mean, it was different. Like, obviously Saskatchewan's a more conservative, like,
Yeah.
old school way of doing things. And I go to Kelowna, which is in BC, and everything's more liberal, and like people are more progressive and everything. I just had to completely change how I think about things and get a totally different state of mind of like that area of the world compared to where I was from. And I was just confusing. And
Did you go to high school when you were in Kelowna?
I did. Yeah.
How was that? Was that a difficult transition?
Completely different to me.
Wow.
Like, everyone hates the hockey players.
Why?
I don't know. They just,
Here it's football.
yeah, like we don't know anyone. We're coming from this weird place. Like,
They hated you.
yeah, the football team didn't like us very much.
Well, dude, you got to think of the studs coming from other cities coming and stealing the hometown broads, man. Everybody
Oh.
gets pissed at that.
Never even thought of that.
Hockey guys are the biggest weapons.
Yeah.
So
You probably
so-
wearing the Kelowna tracksuit, and that right there is a shield.
Never would wear the.
A lot of
tracksuit.
people say that. And they go to
Never would
different
wear
places.
anything. I tried to like just blend into the back. I wouldn't say a word.
It's the
Just try
complete
to, like-
opposite here, dude.
Yeah. I
Complete
wouldn't want to
opposite.
like get like our GM was like just blend in. I was like, great, I'll do that for sure. First day, one of the history teachers like, Colton, like, you guys playing tonight? I'm like, oh.
Teachy, come on.
Now everyone knows like I'm in one of the Rockets, whatever. But I didn't want to ever be like affiliated, because like it's weird because you see like we all obviously sit together
Yeah.
in high school because we don't know anyone else. So
And no one
then
else likes
everyone.
you.
And then you assume like we don't like anyone. We think we're better than everyone else because
Yeah.
we're not talking to them. But like we think everyone hates. It's like this weird.
It's a high school
It's a
thing.
vicious
It's
circle.
a high school thing,
He just
yeah.
painted the perfect picture
It's the
of
exactly, yeah.
of society at school. Like,
Yeah.
literally, I just pictured like long fucking lunch tables where you had like, this is the picture, like the nerds, and then like the hockey players, you know what I mean? And then like the football team takes up like 46 tables. And then you got like the fucking chess club who's like very small. And like, it just like, that's just how it is, man. It's just so weird.
It's such a weird time to be alive. Like,
and you don't want to branch out and be like, do you hate us? Or like, you just assume they hate us, we hate them. You know what I mean? So it's just like, go on with your business.
So I ended up making a couple friends just because
projects.
Yeah, like you, and then they get to know you. I'm like, okay, this guy's not that bad. Like, he's not like a cocky guy. He's just like coming to school and doing whatever else is doing. But
man, it was like I talked to people that didn't play hockey in high school, but like it was a thing in high school. Like there was that tension that didn't need to be there. It was just an assumption of hockey players, and maybe at least hockey players, maybe other athletes, but like
but
there was just that awkward
as a
tension.
whole, the picture that people paint of hockey players is pretty accurate.
Why? Because we get women?
Well, yeah, it's just I'm not going to get into it, but it's just like as a whole, I'm not going to say every guy's like that because that's not fair, but like
there's a stereotype.
People grow into it. You see it, especially now, like, oh, that guy's being a beauty and like sauce hockey and all this shit, right? Yeah. So it's just, that's what you assume that you're supposed to be like.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
You're too young to really make your own.
Small town where he just doesn't even know that that's a thing, right? So it's like,
that's a whole
terrifying.
other thing is, at my high school, I knew everyone. Like, everyone knew everybody, right? Like, there wasn't really it's obviously cliquey. It's still high school. Mm-hmm. But like, I can go to a guy that I don't really hang out with and be like, yo, man, like, how's it going? Then you go to this school and like, this group does not talk to this group. Yeah. This group hates this group. And I'm like, this is so weird to me because I'm friends with the kids that are just straight farmers and like, we're bros. Like, that's just because I like them. They're good dudes. Yeah. But they're just, you just
totally don't different. Interact.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't like you. You do something different than me.
So in a sense, it's good that you had something like hockey because whether you're in that setting or not, when you get to go to hockey, nothing else matters, right? So some people don't have those things to deal with stuff like that, right? So you get to go to hockey, you get to fucking crush a guy or whatever. You get to hang out with the guys that you guys just walked around kind of like, why does everybody hate us type thing? And then you get to hockey and you're finally like, oh, this is where we belong. You know what I mean?
Moving to a big city like you did, but you didn't play hockey. The kids like that, like trying to fit into a social clique.
I couldn't do it.
That would be terrifying. Like your dad gets a big promotion in the city. You got to leave your small town. Oh, that would suck.
That's crazy.
I have like mad respect for people that can do that because I went to that school and I was like, if I didn't have my friends from hockey, I would literally not talk to anyone this entire school year.
Same.
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason I even started talking was because of my hockey buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Because you guys always had that one thing you can relate on.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing in your life at that point.
Yeah.
You guys both relate on it, or you and the other 18 guys. So it's like, it's just easier.
Yeah. I want to talk about the WHL a bit. It's something like I'm aware of the O and the Q. Like we know somewhat about it, but the WHL, it's something I don't know anything about. I couldn't tell you the best organization, the best rank, the worst rank, the worst team,
craziest fans, that kind of
shit. Like so. Like when I think of the O, I think of the London Knights. When I think of the Q, I think of the Ramparts or the Mooseheads are the team. Who's like is Kelowna one of the top-notch teams there? Like give me a rundown of the WHL, I guess.
I'd say each division has their team that's just historically always good. I mean, I was very lucky. I played in Kelowna, which is historically a very good organization. Okay. Where we always seem to compete. When I was there, we were really good. We actually had a lot of guys. Actually, my 20-year-old year, I ended up getting traded, but they went to the Memorial Cup. They lost in the final against Oshawa. A couple years before that, we were supposed to win the WHL championship. Didn't happen, but we were supposed to be up there. Portland is another team that's...
Winterhawks?
Winterhawks, yeah. Portland Winterhawks are always good. They always have guys that go to the NHL every year, and it's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Who has the worst rink?
See, that's the thing. There's a couple of really small rinks. Like Medicine Hat used to. They just got a new rink, but they had a really small rink. Where I'm from, a lot of guys don't like playing there because it's pretty small. Yeah. Swift Current.
There's a WHL team
Swift Current Broncos, baby.
Current Broncos, yeah.
Oh. The Broncos, baby.
So that must have been fun going there when your family must have come out and seen you play.
Yeah, no, that was really fun. It's nice. All my friends got to come and watch and all that. I think like growing up, my biggest thing was probably every kid.
All your old high school crushes.
Here, yeah. Every kid here wants to play for the Mooseheads, right? So that's kind of the same thing as everyone wants to play for the Broncos. And so, but I'd say
gives the kids something to shoot for, man. Though, like honest to God,
yeah.
Right. So.
What's the Kelowna rink like? What are the fans like there?
We'd sell out every game.
No, how many fans?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Sell out every game, junior hockey. Could you imagine?
7,000-8,000. I'm guessing that's
8,000 selling out.
7 or 8,000.
man.
Yeah. Like
Talk about a loyal
places
fan
like
base.
Vancouver would get like 10,000. Calgary would probably.
Where'd you play in Vancouver? The P&E?
Yeah.
They
play in the P&E.
I was in there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's a nice place. Did they sell out the P&E?
not usually. They probably get around 8 to 10. They had Gordie Howe one night when we played there, and Gordie Howe was there, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk to him, but I got to saw him. I was like, wow, it's Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
And they had like 15,000 people in there that night. It was crazy. And like, it's obviously an old NHL rink, so it's huge and it's intimidating.
Yeah.
It's cool. Calgary got a lot of fans. Edmonton.
Oh yeah, Calgary plays out of the Saddle Dome, right?
Man, you played with some pretty unreal players like Madison Bowie,
Yeah.
Josh Morrissey, it says here, Dylan Dubé. What's the other guy I just seen? He was on the last list. I can't remember. That's crazy. It's crazy to see guys that move on, and then like, how was I supposed to know that you were connected to this guy? Where's that at? I want to find it. What's his name? Colton Heffley. What?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I'd
Where's he
say
at, man. That's pretty cool though, cause like, what's his name? Morrissey. It looks like he got traded late, maybe.
he got traded. I got traded to
Albert?
PA.
Yeah.
With him. So I was his D partner in PA, and then about 2 weeks later he got traded to Kelowna.
Really?
So like, that was the weirdest thing so I got traded to PA when I was 20 at the deadline.
Yeah.
Or right before, about 2 weeks before the deadline.
Were they a contender or no?
No.
Fuck.
Oh,
I went from playing the best team in the league to a team that was kind of on the fringe of playing a playoff spot.
that's frustrating.
Yeah. So it was, I mean, it was good for me personally. I think it was a lot of personal growth because I played in the same place for pretty much 5 years.
Best team with the worst team.
Yeah. So you learn a lot from going from organization where you see everything is like
Top notch.
like the culture is there where everyone is like, oh my God, we got to do this. And then you see somewhere else where there's some players that, on a losing team or like they've come from somewhere else and they don't get the winning. What do you have to do to be a winner? Right.
Yeah.
And I had a great time. PA. I love the organization. Everyone there treated me great. So I got traded there, and then Morrissey got traded to Kelowna for 2 guys from my old team. So then 2 of my teammates came, and then Draisaitl got traded from PA to Kelowna for 2 more of my teammates.
So did you get traded for Draisaitl?
Well, like technically the whole package.
You were in the package.
Yeah, like
I see.
technically it was just they were all separate trades, but like technically it was Morrissey and Draisaitl for our 5 guys basically.
Who's
Had to like
spread
it out a bit. But
Who's one of the best players that you played against in the WHL that just the most skill?
man, I think Ryan Nugent Hopkins was absolutely crazy good. And
What was so good about him?
you couldn't hit him. Like I was younger, so I was a checking forward. I was always a checking forward. so I would have to check him sometimes, and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't even keep up with this guy. How am I supposed to check him?
Yeah.
So every once in a while, like I'd be like, oh, I got him. He's not looking at me. I got him lined up. Like I'm gonna hit him hard.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, just gone. I look behind me.
Fuck.
3-on-1. I'm like, what just happened?
Just
Like,
got exposed.
Where did that guy just go? It was crazy.
Yeah, we've had a lot
Yeah.
of the slippery guys, man. They think they're going left, and at the very last second they go right.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And to think about him like in the NHL, he's a good player in the NHL, but he's not the top guy.
Yeah.
And he's just blowing by guys in the WHL like it's no big deal.
That's a joke. It was ridiculous.
It just goes to
So
show
good.
you.
I was gonna say if there's ever a guy to get traded for, Draisaitl doesn't suck.
No, that's a good ego boost right
He
there.
was cool. I didn't get to play with him or against him, but I watched him when he got to Kelowna, and we were done, so we didn't make playoffs. So I came back to Kelowna to watch them.
Yeah.
And I've never seen someone that can pass the puck on their backhand so hard. Like
Wow.
he literally would come down the wing, and I'd watch him. I'd be like, oh my God, he's gonna pass his back door, and no one's gonna even think about it. And he just go like this, and it'd be like he just took a slap shot back door, and the guy couldn't one time. He'd just stop it, tap in the net.
A little bit of sauce on it,
I'm
just
like,
over the blade.
Oh my God, it was crazy.
That's a very underrated skill, and
Backhand
I
pass
used to
to
get
the
praised
slot.
for it as a kid. Was your backhand period?
Crosby.
Crosby, like they say that the backhand's the most unpredictable shot because you can literally have it lined up. You can go here, you can go there, you can go there, you can go here, like there by accident.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you're on the forehand, like you ask a guy like Tommy, he'll tell you that you can kind of predict what the guy's going to do by the way they have their stick.
Yeah.
But on the backhand, you're so unpredictable. But you watch kids even in the WHL and stuff like that, they can't take a pass on their backhand. And that probably is one of those skills that if you can do is going to set you apart.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like we were talking about how baseball was like that scouting type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas in hockey, if you can't, like, you can see guys in the show, like Sid takes it one hand on the backhand full stride.
That's
But
one.
Every guy in the
How do
show
you do
does.
that? Yeah.
That's one thing I like about preseason hockey in the NHL is that you can really tell the difference between the guys that are supposed to be there and the guys that really aren't supposed to be there. It's amazing the difference when Tavares has 3 guys on him and Tavares is on the half wall and how he makes a smart play to chip it to Kadri coming down the wall. When a guy that's really trying to make the team panics, puts it in the middle, it's a turnover. You can just tell those difference between.
Well, it exposes people.
It absolutely exposes people.
Yeah.
It's one thing when I was watching the same game you were watching when they played for the Kraft Hockeyville.
Yeah, Luke.
And they were playing in that smaller rink, so the pressure was so much more. You had to make a decision so much more
The
quicker.
very first goal of the game happened because of that.
Kadri did a little dipsy doodle behind the net there, and then there you go. But anyways, yeah, that's what I've been liking about preseason hockey so far. Is just the exposure of the players that should be there and aren't supposed to be there.
Well, the guys that are real good, like Tavares, he's not passing specifically to someone. He's passing to a spot where he knows it's A, not going to be a turnover, and B, to where his guys got a better chance, better percentage of winning that puck race than their guys do. Whereas the younger guys panic because they just haven't been in that heated spot.
Yeah.
So they try to get it to a guy, which is called forcing, instead of giving your team a chance to win the puck. Right?
Yeah. It's not. It's just so quick.
Yeah.
So
it's
quick.
true.
It's not
easy
even
for me to
forcing.
say.
It's just panic.
Yeah.
They just don't know what to do.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
thinking. He's thinking 2 steps ahead of everyone else. He already knows. Well, I'm going to put this here, and this guy's going to put it here, and I'll be here.
Yeah.
And when other guys are like, I got the puck. Oh man, where's my pass?
And if it's not that option, he's got a backup plan.
Yeah.
By his positioning, probably.
Backup plan, just put it off the boards. That's what I learned at a young age. Because I always fucked up on the half wall, getting the puck out of the defensive zone. I always like put it to the centerman swinging by, and I always missed him. I was either ahead of him, back. I always fucked up. So I forget what coach it was. He just chip it off the wall, and the chip off the wall probably saved my hockey career. Yeah. Definitely.
I would prefer that than having to get it right here where you're like,
Oh
this.
yeah, just put it up in
Full
front
speed centerman. Because you're a centerman, aren't you?
Yeah. 100%.
of him. Would you rather chip off the wall or?
Depends. If you got no
I
pressure.
think the new play, and this is kind of where the game seems to go. And I mean, I'm not a master strategist, but it seems like D-men just get it, and if they got nothing, instead of chipping off the wall, they just flip it into the middle.
Yep. Alley-oop.
Yeah, they do it all the time, and then it's so easy for a winger. You just come in with speed on the D-man. The D-man's looking up trying to get a puck, and put it down, and you're coming with speed on him, and it's either that or you're rimming up the wall into nothing.
Yeah,
so that's a new play I see guys doing all the time.
Are you guys doing that at Dal?
Trying to get into it, yeah, because I mean, there's teams that we play against. Smew's a good example. They do it a lot. They're really good at it. And UNB, if they have nothing, instead of chipping off the boards or something where a guy can kind of like maybe body it, they just flip it over. And if you're forechecking, like, oh, I'm going to hammer this D-man, and all of a sudden he flips the puck over all 3 of your forwards, you're all like,
especially where you got perfect
kidding me?
offensive zone forecheck, you know what I mean?
Just
you're going in
kills
perfect.
offense.
And it's like another thing too. You think about, it's crazy that the game evolves almost without us even noticing, because when you're back in the day, you always see the D-man drill. Coach will rip one off the glass. He has to come over and try and keep it in off the glass, or like the perfect time to pinch. Whereas now they have to be trained when to recognize that the flick's coming. You know what I mean? And it just kind of like developed under our feet without us even really noticing, but you got to adjust with it.
It's crazy how quick the game has changed in the past like 2 years even.
Ridiculous.
Just 2 years. How younger these players are that are coming in and making the team. Older guys, like the fact that I saw Marlowe out there, like, don't get me wrong, he looked great, but looked so out of place. Just like, wow, this guy is 35, 37 years old, and he's playing with Matthews right now. It's just, everyone's so young, and they're all getting big money too. Big money. Have they figured out Nylander yet? That has to happen soon.
Yeah, they had a big. I watch Leafs lunch all the time, so I'll keep you updated.
Did who was the other guy from Edmonton that they were trying to figure out? Nurse. They signed Nurse?
Yeah, they did. A couple years.
2 years, right?
2 years?
Yeah.
So I feel like Edmonton doesn't want to sign anything long term right now. They're still kind of unpredictable.
They're always going to be kind of in limbo. You know, they don't know.
For a team that gets 91 first overall draft picks, now Yakupov was a bust. I never liked him anyways.
Is he in the NHL?
I think so.
I don't even know actually anymore.
Last time he was in there you go.
St. Louis?
Was in Colorado last year.
Colorado?
Dallas.
I don't even know. He's not even worth talking
Anyways, while we're on the topic of hockey, when you got traded to Prince Albert, was that your 20 year?
Yeah.
So that's, you guys, fuck, that sucks, man. I feel for you. It just hit me now that you got traded in your 20 year to a non-contending team, which means you got there and your season pretty much ended.
Yeah, I mean, I had probably 2 months there, and they brought me in, and I knew the coach. The coach I had in midget, and I'd known him growing up, and his name is Mark Habshai, and I actually learned a lot from him, and I'm glad I got traded there because he's a great coach too, and he was in the Oilers system.
I know Mark Habshai.
Yeah,
you know him?
I don't know him personally, but I know who he is.
Yeah, he played a couple games with the Oilers maybe. Anyway, great offensive mind. Learned a lot from him, like just little things. And we had Dave Manson was our D coach. He played with. You probably know
he's tough.
He was maybe the scariest man I've ever met. That guy is tough. First time I met him, I come up and I shake his hand, and he's like, "I'm Dave," and he got punched in the throat when he was playing, so he talks like in like a horse whisper. He can't yell.
Like one of those people that have a hole in their mouth or something.
Kind of, but like he doesn't have a hole or anything. You would never know.
He just punched in the esophagus.
He just got punched in the neck, like in the esophagus. And he's got the farmer hand. Like his hand is probably like this big. It's ridiculous. And he grabbed my hand, and like I just like went like this.
Oh, he crumbled you.
And he's literally. I saw some of his fights, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is so tough. Like, and so he was a good D-man too. He was a really good D-man. So I learned a lot from him too. I was a forward in Kelowna, and then they traded for me, and they wanted me to play defense.
Yeah. Really?
D-man. Because I'd played D with Kelowna a bit, and I'd kind of gone back and forth. So I ended up playing defense for PA, and he was the D coach, so he kind of
that's cool.
Got me back up to speed. So
you're probably a great defensive centerman.
Yeah.
Just because if your D-man's not in the spot, you know what the spot is, so you just cover it.
What do you do as a good defensive centerman?
What do you
hang out in the neutral zone?
Help the D-man.
Oh, man,
I just empathize with D-man because I get like when you're D-man and your forwards aren't helping you, it sucks because you just, especially with the center, like if your center's not coming in to like win a battle for you, it sucks.
It all depends on your formation. Like they always say, A1, which is centerman is technically low for the, you know what I mean? You keep yourself between that guy, the nearest guy, and the net.
Corner. Yeah.
Right? But like you said, if your forwards aren't helping out, a lot of the game these days is small chips to quiet areas.
Yeah.
If your centerman's not there, you can't have your winger pinch down to the corner for a soft chip because then the puck goes up to the point. That's a full fucking lane for 100-mile-an-hour slap shot these days. Yeah. If the centerman is there, he gets that. He moves it up to the winger, which now allows, because you can't get drilled anymore after you pass the puck, which now allows your centerman to get back in position for that chip or the pass through the middle and exposes that D-man flat-footed.
I hope a lot of people that listen or know hockey are listening to this podcast, because if not, we're fucked. No one's going to know what we're talking about here.
Who cares?
Whatever. I want to talk about the food situation in Kelowna. What was it like after the game? Do you guys get pizza, pasta? Also, before, do you guys get grilled cheese, like toast? What was the situation there? We
actually ate pretty well. Like after games, we were pretty lucky. We'd eat like steak, and we'd go to nice restaurants.
Pasta.
That was one thing I really liked in Kelowna, is after we'd have like a good meal. Like we'd go to nice restaurants, sit down, have like a nice pasta or like a steak or whatever. But then like those are things that's a more big market team. And then PA, it's a community based team. So like that's when we do like pizza after games. But then at the same time, we'd only be going like 45 minutes from Regina, whereas like Kelowna, we'd be going like 15 hours from Prince George or like 10 hours from Portland. So it's a little different that way too.
What about like before the games in the room? Like some players have like those like power packets, Gatorade. Other teams have like apples, bananas, granola bars. What'd you guys have there?
Kind of a bit of everything. Yeah. Bananas, peanut butter.
Did you eat a lot before the game?
No, I wasn't a big eater. I usually ate like 3, and then maybe before the game I'll have like a banana or something just that has like carbs in it, just to kind of get a little bit more boost. But I didn't like being full. I like being like empty kind of when I'm playing.
Really? Me too.
Just feel like
the exact same way.
Yeah, I just feel lighter and like quicker. I don't know.
There's no chance for your stomach to feel upset or heavy because you just control it.
Yeah.
I liked eating.
Yeah, that's like I said.
That's
sports
fun,
psychology, right?
Yeah, I guess so. So you're studying sports psychology?
No, it's just an elective I'm taking.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm studying business, so I just had a bunch of open electives, and I was like, this seems like it makes sense for me to do. So
it's perfect. Cool. You led me into my next question.
Go ahead.
I had a different one, but this one just hit me because you said that. So you're playing at Dal. You're in what, your third year?
Fourth year. Called it.
What is the connection that you made from PA, as you call it, which now I'm going to call it PA because that's badass, to Dalhousie?
It's funny because how I ended up coming to Dal is because I got traded to PA. So our head coach is friends with our assistant coach here.
Yeah.
And they knew each other. Dean Decision is our assistant coach.
Dean Decision's your assistant coach?
Yeah.
I know Dean.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
He probably would have coached. He coached a lot of minor hockey like a couple years ago with a lot of the guys we play with. He coached in minor hockey growing up. So it's kind of special for them to play with him again. But so yeah, they played together in the American League or something, and they were good friends, and they had asked about me and Mark. I had talked to Mark, and I'd asked him, I was like, well, what do you think? Like, he said, well, it's a really good school, and it's gonna be a really good opportunity for you. So then I came here for my recruiting trip, and I met Dean and all them, and I fell in love with the city, and it was obviously a lot different than out west. It's completely different. It's almost like a different country. It's completely different.
People and stuff like that.
Yeah, people, and I just wanted a new experience. And
everyone falls in love when they get here, man.
Yeah, it's a cool experience. Like it's a student town, and I mean the schools obviously are very respected schools, so that was good too. And
Dal was a newer program, newish.
Yeah, like it's kind
revamped.
of a revamped program. They're just kind of get back on their feet and everything, and it was a good opportunity for me to play a lot and get a lot of opportunity here. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, sign me up.
So did you, when you came on your recruiting trip, did you go anywhere else, or was it just Dal?
Well, I came to Dal. It was either I was going to Dal or U of S, Saskatchewan, and they have a really good program. So it was either that or here. So I kind of was thinking about it, but then I thought about it. I was like, well, being in Saskatchewan my whole life, like I know what it's going to be, rinse and repeat going to U of S. That's the same thing. I just want something different. So I like I said to you, like I like trying new things every time, and like same with the pizza, just trying new things and never getting stuck in the same routine. Yeah, because that gets boring.
And that's a lot of people get into that routine and they hate it, right? So you can't be afraid, because remember we always talk about, it's taking that leap or taking that chance. Like there's a chance he could have came here and hated it. Yeah. But he's like, you know what? I want to try something different. Yeah. Open your, you know what I mean? People are different here. The lifestyle's different. You know what I mean? It's just like as a whole, it's good for you. Like you should want to go different and try different things so you can grow better.
It's a great city. It has a good resume with people our age. You know, younger 20s, people going into college.
Bar
scene's great. You know, there's some great looking people. It's a good city.
So question again. If you would have stayed in Kelowna, and this is hypothetical, of course, did you have plans to go to U of S while you were in Kelowna, or did you have different options then, or did you have none?
At that point, I wasn't even thinking about it, which is weird, because when you're 20, that's the thing about junior, man. You don't really think about
what life is like after.
Life after junior. You're just still stuck in your junior life. So I was about 20 and I got traded, and then no one really, like, I talked about it a bit with my coach from Kelowna, but I wasn't serious about it yet. I was focused on, boys, we want to win the Memorial Cup here. Yeah. And then I got traded, and then same thing. I was like, boys, like playoff push. We want to make playoffs. And then maybe like the last 2 weeks of the season, we had been like eliminated, and that's when I was like, okay, what am I going to do with my life next year? Like, what am I going to do now? I'm done hockey and junior. So that's when I started having more, I guess, serious talks about doing that kind of stuff. So to answer your question, I had no idea what I was doing in Kelowna. I hadn't even thought about it.
Every player has that moment where they think, oh, wait a second, I'm 20 here. Next year is kind of a big deal. 21, I don't know what I'm doing. Every player.
I was just going to say, take that 20-year-old that you're talking about right now, that player, right now that's listening, and tell them to put themselves in a scenario where you're not playing hockey shortly, and tell me how you feel about that, right? Yeah. So then you're thinking, oh shit, okay, there's options.
Tons.
But what are they?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you came, because
you got to make your own. And I think you got to make your own. There's tons of options. You just got to look for them. Like, we had a couple guests on that were in the same situation. Just didn't really know what they wanted to do, but then they almost became their own agent and just started calling teams, emailing teams, asking friends, calling coaches. Hey, do you need it? You know, and then just figure it out.
Yeah.
Freaking right.
Yeah.
Tons of places to play. That's
the biggest thing, is just calm down. You're obviously like anxious. You're like, what am I going to do? Just calm down. There's going to be a team. So there's somewhere you can play. Yeah,
absolutely.
If you want to play, you can play.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
You got to make it so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that was. I just want to touch on one quick thing, and it's baseball, because for people that don't know, we played on the same team this year. Yeah. He was all-star catcher first year in the league. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Grassy, all-star second baseman.
Shh. Playoffs still here. But I wanted to talk about, because I heard through the grapevine that you got asked to play for the junior national team when you were younger.
Yeah.
True or false?
True.
So then I also heard, this is just through the team, obviously, that was the same year you went to play in the WHL, maybe?
Yeah, so that was...
So naturally, that's...
probably the biggest decision I ever had to make in my life. And that was like a 2-week decision. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, so, what, I've been 15 or 16? 15. So 15, that's another thing. When I was getting drafted, a lot of scouts from the junior teams were calling me and they're like, hey man, like, are you going to play ball or are you going to play hockey? And I'm like, I'm going to play hockey, because obviously I'm not going to tell them I'm going to play ball, because I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Naturally a Canadian kid.
Yeah. So then I played for Team Sask in just kind of the Western, whatever, I don't know what it'd be called. We played Team Manitoba, Team Alberta for baseball. So I'd done that in the summer. And then the coach was like, okay, well, we want you to come to the national team tryouts.
Which is a big fucking deal.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, like that's cool. He's like, no, this is a big deal. Like, you're a triple underage. Like, we want you to come.
Triple underage.
And I'm like,
yeah, because it's like 18 and under or something, isn't it?
yeah.
So you're 15.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like what? Like, this is huge. Like, this doesn't happen, right? So I was like, well, when is it? He's like, well, it's in October. I was like, oh, that's a problem. I have to try out for my junior team. Like, I need to make this when I'm 16. And he's like, well, whatever you want to do, like, you just tell me, because we've had a lot of guys that have picked ball, and we've had a couple guys that have played hockey, and it's worked out for them. Yeah, I think one guy he'd sent was he played for LA during their cup runs. I forget his name.
Martinez?
Anyway. No, he's from Yorkton. He was a forward.
Foley.
No.
Anyways.
Brown.
He was one of the more checking guys. I can't remember his name.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, anyway. So he's like, well, we had asked this guy the same thing, and he picked hockey, and obviously it worked out for him. He played in the NHL.
Yeah.
So then I had to make this decision, and I was like, man, like, because then obviously my junior team is going to be like, well, you're going to play baseball. Like, I was like, well, they might drop me, they might trade me. Like, who knows what's going to happen if I make that decision? So then I had to make the decision. I was like, well, I'm going to go play hockey. Like, I'm Canada. And that's the thing, like,
West kid.
Yeah. And the thing is, I love baseball and hockey the same amount. So that didn't really factor in my decision. I was like, I will be happy playing either for the rest of my life. Wouldn't be a problem for me. But then I just had to think of a more realistic, logical thing. It was like, well, if I go there and I don't make it in the NHL, I have 4 or 5 years of schooling. If I go play baseball, I don't know, like, am I going to get an offer for a D1 school? Yeah. Like, I'm 15. Like, this is a 4-year guaranteed thing. Yeah. And baseball, who knows, maybe I'll hurt my arm. Like, anything could happen.
Tommy John.
Anything, right? So then I had to make that decision.
Especially when you're being pushed at that age, you may not even be fully developed yet, and they're trying to get you to do stuff that your body hasn't even done yet.
Exactly.
But it could go either way. But it sounds like such a shitty situation, but like that's a great spot to be in for you at that age.
Yeah.
And I wanted that's a fucking insane story. I almost had chills. But the reason I asked you about ball is because, like I said, you played here. How many years has it been since you played here? And we'll touch on it quickly.
Played baseball?
Yeah, like since you started with the draw this year. Like, did you play last year or the year before?
I haven't touched a baseball in probably 4 years.
So was there that part of you that just like, obviously you missed it because you said you loved them both the same, but is there that competitive part of you that just wanted, for you personally, to just prove yourself that you could still fucking do it? Because I'm still like that, like with everything. So
100%. I mean, I wanted to prove that I could still do it to myself, and then I wanted to prove that I could do it. Like, when I came to the team, I was like, I want to be the best I can be for this team. I want them to be like, wow, this guy's sick.
And that's what happened.
So, so yeah, I mean, it was obviously a challenge for me. I hadn't played ball in 4 years. So I was like, a lot of doubts, a lot of stress. Like, I was like, am I going to be able to hit? Like, am I going to be able to even see the ball anymore? Like, am I going to be able to catch?
I can tell you what, after you watch Billy and I hit for a little bit, you'll get your confidence back.
When do you guys go to Cape Breton?
Not this weekend, but next. So we start playoffs this Saturday. It's good because this is free marketing for us. It's this Saturday at 7 o'clock at Beasley, and then Sunday at 1, playing Sydney in the finals. But
good ball. Come out and watch.
Fucking right.
I went for the first time 2 weeks ago, last week. One of the best decisions I've ever made. It was a lot of fun.
It's good ball, man.
BYOB.
Well, look, now you heard it first. This guy just almost went to junior national team, and now you play for the Dry, right?
Yeah, it was a great game too.
So I think it was Parks that made the connection, wasn't it? Todd Parker?
Yeah, so Todd Parker is our assistant coach.
He's a weapon. You met him at the golf course. He was the really drunk and obnoxious guy.
Oh, yes.
Yelling, let's go!
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Parksy. So yeah, I just asked him, I was curious. I was like, if Parksy, like, is there any ball around here? I'd want to play. And he's like, yeah. Like, come try out. Like, well, come do a tryout with me. Like, you got to pass my tests. Like, okay. So he's like, if you can throw a ball, he's like, I can tell a lot by a guy if they can throw a ball. I'm like, okay. Like, if you can naturally throw a baseball. So I was like, okay. So whatever. Like, we start playing catch, and obviously I can throw into his glove.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Well, like, let's do some hitting. Let's do some catching stuff. Let's do some pitching, all that.
There was tons of hype around it.
So, and I did all that, and I was like, okay, like,
pass the test. And
then he's making it seem like, well, I'm playing in the majors. He's like, yeah, most of the guys in this league, like, they're really good pitchers. Like, you're gonna have a tough time adjusting. I'm like, so I'm going on this. I'm like, oh my god, like, am I gonna be able to hit anything? Like, this guy's gonna be zipping him in here, and I'm gonna just embarrass myself. So
Turns out not the case.
Yeah, he just kind of threw me. Sports psychology, man. He just threw me for a loop, got me all stressed
He
up.
did too. He fucked you.
Yeah, he really stressed me out.
Oh, that's awesome.
But no, I'm glad I played. It was awesome. And I mean, there's a lot of good ball players. So it wasn't like, it's not like I was playing like softball, whatever.
And you were a big fish.
Good league. Yeah.
A lot of good players for sure.
Beauty.
So.
All right, well, we're coming up on an hour here, so we'll cut it there. Thank you for coming out, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You got some great stories there. Love out west.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anytime you want to have me on again.
Absolutely.
Fun.
Well, maybe we'll do like we'll come out to the dry games and we'll get you to do a tutorial on baseball or something.
There you go. Dude's can help me with that too.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm
Got
just
slick hands, man. He's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that. All right, everyone listening, I appreciate the support. This is The High Button. My name is Justin Belanger. Matthew Dudelet, he is our co-host. We will be back. When are we going to be back? Are you going to be away in Cape Breton?
It's no, I'm not away this weekend, man. But it's up in the air. It always is. We'll let you know.
We will let you know. If you could go to all of our social media outlets, like, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes, all that good stuff. Once again, we appreciate it and we love you guys. Peace.
If you have any comments, leave them. We like them. Thanks.
Peace.